Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. We're starting off with a story that's been making waves globally, and it's all about the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. The Iran war has brought the Strait of Hormuz to a trading standstill, and this is having far-reaching consequences for the global economy. The waterway, located between Iran, Oman, and the United Arab Emirates, is one of the busiest shipping choke points on the planet, with over 100 vessels passing through it every day. The conflict has already led to a significant disruption in the supply chain, with many ships being forced to reroute around Africa or find alternative suppliers. This is particularly concerning for farmers in the Northern Hemisphere as the growing season gets underway, as fertilizer holdups could be especially damaging. The Middle East accounts for a small fraction of the global supply chain network, but the products failing to come out of the region right now are crucial components in many industries. Experts warn that if the conflict continues to expand outward, it could have wider global economic effects. A conflict that extends beyond 6 weeks could lead to higher oil prices, slightly higher inflation rates, and tighter-feeling wallets for consumers around the world. The situation is complex, with many factors at play, but one thing is clear: the world is watching closely as events unfold in the Middle East. We'll be keeping a close eye on this story and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, it's essential to consider the potential implications of this conflict on the global economy and how it may affect us all. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're diving into a complex and intriguing story from South Africa, where the new U.S. Ambassador, Leo Brent Bosel III, has found himself at the center of controversy. Ambassador Bosel recently made public comments criticizing the "Kill the Boer" chant, labeling it as hate speech, despite a South African court ruling that it does not constitute hate speech. This chant, which translates to "kill the farmer," is a contentious issue in South Africa, rooted in the country's history of apartheid. While some view it as a form of hate speech, others see it as a relic of the struggle against white minority rule that ended in 1994. The U.S. ambassador's comments have sparked a heated debate, with many feeling that he overstepped his bounds by questioning the South African judiciary's decision. In response to Ambassador Bosel's remarks, the South African Foreign Minister, Ronald Lamola, summoned him to explain his undiplomatic remarks. Minister Lamola emphasized the importance of diplomacy and respect for established etiquette, particularly when it comes to sensitive issues like racial policies and court decisions. The minister also clarified that broad-based Black economic empowerment is not reverse racism, but rather a necessary instrument to address the structural imbalances of South Africa's unique history. It's essential to approach this story with nuance and understanding, recognizing the complexities of South Africa's past and present. As we navigate these sensitive topics, it's crucial to prioritize respect, empathy, and open dialogue. The relationship between the U.S. and South Africa is multifaceted, and it will be interesting to see how this situation unfolds. As we continue to follow this story, we'll provide updates and insights, ensuring that our coverage remains fair and balanced. For now, let's take a closer look at the implications of Ambassador Bosel's comments and the potential impact on U.S.-South Africa relations. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to bring your attention to a pressing matter in the European Union. The EU is facing significant challenges in its defense sector, and lawmakers are calling for a single market for defense to increase integration and reduce reliance on foreign investors. According to a recent report, the EU states currently pay 30% above the market value for defense equipment sourced outside the EU. To address this issue, MEPs are urging the EU Commission to create a dedicated joint fund for innovative defense ideas and propose a law allowing mutual recognition of certification for defense equipment. The goal is to create a European ecosystem for defense, which would enable the EU to better defend itself and reduce its dependence on foreign suppliers. This initiative comes amidst Russia's ongoing war against Ukraine and the increasing belligerence of the U.S. Trump administration, highlighting the need for the EU to prioritize defense and security. In a related development, the EU is also seeking to strengthen its relations with Canada, particularly in the areas of security and defense. MEPs have described Canada as the most European country outside the EU and are exploring ways to deepen cooperation between the two entities. As the EU continues to navigate these complex issues, it's essential to consider the potential implications for global security and the role of the EU in maintaining peace and stability. With the rise of new global challenges, it's crucial for the EU to develop a robust defense strategy that prioritizes European interests while promoting cooperation with like-minded nations. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.